Why on Isstvan III, when Horus bombarded the planet with the remaining Loyalist legions, didn't he simply finish off the survivors after the bombardment and the firestorm? Why not bombard the planet again and then hit them with another firestorm? That way no one would have survived. Why did he send everyone down to the planet and drag the whole things out? Because Horus' planets at Isstvan III stopped being purely military almost immediately. The first virus bombing was supposed to solve the problem. The Loyalists from the Sons of Horus, Emperor's Children, World Eaters, and Death Guard were deliberately sent to the surface, and the Life Eater virus was meant to wipe them out. The resulting initiation firestorm should have finished anything still alive. But Saul Tarvitz warned the Loyalists, so thousands reached sealed bunkers and other protected positions before the virus. That completely screwed up Horus's clean extermination plan. So why not just bomb them again? First, Angron basically ruined the easy solution. This is probably the biggest reason. Angron saw the Loyalist Astartes were still alive and essentially went, "Fuck orbital bombardment, I'm going down there." He descended personally and attacked the surface. Once Angron was on the surface, Horus couldn't simply keep saturation bombing the planet without risking killing one of his own Primarch, plus large numbers of traitor World Eaters, and eventually other Traitors forces who followed him down. This turned what should have been an execution into a ground. Second, Horus couldn't afford to simply abandon Angron. Horus was preparing to fight in the Emperor and needed every Primarch and Legion he could get. Killing Angron with another orbital firestorm would have been enormous waste, and once Angron committed himself, the other Traitors forces effectively had to support the battle, so Horus got dragged into a site he originally wanted to avoid. Third, the Loyalists were extremely difficult to dig out. The survivors weren't standing around in the open. They occupied bunkers and ruins around places such as the Horus City. Space Marines are already ridiculously hard to kill, and now they were fighting from prepared positions. Another bombardment could certainly have killed more of them, but guaranteeing that every Loyalist was dead would have required destroying enormous areas repeatedly, and once traitor forces were mixed in with them, that became much harder. There was also pride involved. This is an important part of the Horus Heresy. The Traitors weren't like perfectly rational military commanders anymore. Angron wanted battle. Fulgrim and his Emperor children increasingly sought personal glory and access. The Traitor Legion wanted to destroy their former brothers themselves, and Horus himself had enormous confidence that the outcome was inevitable. The Loyalists were trapped on a dead planet to escape. Horus had orbital superiority and overwhelming forces. From his perspective, they were already dead. It was just a question of how long killing them would take. 5. And that's why Isstvan III becomes such a costly mistake. This is the irony. The original plan was actually very smart. Send unreliable elements of the 4 Legion down, Varus bombs them, ignite the atmosphere, move on. Tarvitz warning disrupted step 3. Then Angron turned what remained of the operation into a personal war. Instead of eliminating the Loyalists almost instantly, Horus's forces ended up fighting them for months. The Loyalists knew they were going to die, so their objective became simply make Horus pay for every meter, and they did. That's why characters like a Saul Tarvitz, Nathaniel Garrow, fellow Loyalist, and especially ancient Relenor become so important thematically. They were fighting to win Isstvan III, they were buying time, killing traitors, and demonstrating that Horus's rebellion wasn't going to be the quick, clean cope he imagined. So your instinct is correct. From a purely military standpoint, repeated orbital bombardment was the sensible option. Horus initially intended something close. That main thing that prevented it was Angron, charging down onto Isstvan III and turning an extermination into a battle. And that is one of the most Angron things Angron ever did.